divide with variables. Exponents are just repeated multiplication Therefore, you may want to expand the exponents by writing them out. So example 1, simplify the equation. So here's our equation. We have 4r over 7. We didn't need to expand as it was just 1r. Now once again, we're going to, instead of divide, we're going to multiply, and we're going to take the reciprocal of the second number. So we have 2 over r squared, which is just r times r. So that's how we expand r squared. Now the next step will be we can divide out common factors. So here we have a common factor here and a common factor here. And that's all we have. So we can go ahead and cross it out, make it a 1, cross this out and make it a 1. And so now we can go ahead and multiply. So we have 4 times this 1 times 2. And then on the bottom we have 7 times 1 times r. So that gets us to 4 times 1, which is 4, times 2, which is 8. 7 times 1 is 7, times r is just 7, then r. And this would be our answer for this problem. So let's go ahead and do another example. Simplify the formula. So here we have 28rt over 4 divided by 16t squared r to the third over 10. So once again, we're going to, let's expand this out a little bit. So 28 can be rewritten as 2 and 14 and then 2 and 7. So those are the prime numbers of 28. So let's go ahead and write that. So we have 2 times 2 times 7 times r times t. 4 is just 2 times 2. Now remember, we always take the reciprocal of the second number for dividing, so then we can multiply. So yeah, now multiply by the reciprocal. So 2 times 5, because 10 is 2 and 5. And then 16 is then just 2 times 8. 8 is 2 times 4, and then 2 times 2. So we have 4 2's to make up 16. So we have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times t times t times r times r times r. So this is how we expand out all these terms. Now let's find some common factors. So we have a 2 here and a 2 here. We can cross those out. And then a 2 here and a 2 here. We will cross those out too. And then we have a 2 here and a 2 here. So we'll cross those out as well. Then we also have some diagonal terms we can cross out. So this t and this t. And then this r and this r. And then we have no more common factors. So let's go ahead and then cross all these out and make them 1s. This crosses out with that one. These cross out. And then these cross out. So now we are left with a bunch of 1s on the top to multiply, and then on the bottom we have these 1s here, and then these 2s. And now we can multiply. So on the top, we got 1 times 1 times 7 times 1 times 1 is 7. And then we're going to go 7 times 1 is 7 times 5 is 35. So that's 35 on the top. And that's it. And now on the bottom, we have 1 times 1. So that's 1 times 1, 1 times 2 is 2 times 2 is 4 times this next 2 is 8. So then we have 8 on the bottom as our number. Then we're left with t and just one of them. And then we have 2 r's. So that becomes then r squared. So this would be our final answer to this problem.